Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling start to Shake It Up Saturday. Yes, it's that day of the week where we look at shaking things up in life a little bit, doing something out of the ordinary, opening up those creativity channels that we all have. Yes, and we all do have some form of creativity. So be careful on that. So what are you doing today that is out of routine for you? Something new is it something new that you are trying? Somewhere new you were going to go and visit? What are you trying today that's out of routine for you? Because that's what Shake It Up Saturday is all about. It's about shaking loose and going with the flow and doing something out of the ordinary, trying something new, all that sort of good stuff. And I got this really cool book. I stumbled across this book and I was reading and I was looking at the thing online and I thought, this is really cool. And the book is actually called Shake It Up. See, Shake It Up. I thought this is perfect for Saturdays. And what it is that there are five different questions that you are asked. There's appreciation, wonder questions, shifting from blame to wonder, creative innovations, and verbing. And basically, when you start the book, I haven't started it yet, but I will be starting it today, is that up here you put the date and then there's a category. This one's on appreciation. So this one here, they want you to, unique qualities I see and appreciate about me are, and list those 5 qualities. And then at the once you have listed the 5 qualities, it's like breathe and move with the following question. I wonder how I can enhance and expand my unique abilities. And then write down any spontaneous thoughts, ideas, or actions that come to mind. So it's actually a workbook along the way. And then you've got one on creative innovation, shift this from self-blame to wonder. Instead of thinking nobody loves me, try, I wonder, how can I expand my ability to give and receive love? So you're changing the thought patterns, you're changing the questions. And then you got, and then it just keeps repeating these ones over and over again throughout the book. And you date each page. So you got dates at the top of each page. So you date each page. And like I said, these questions just keep repeating, but they're worded differently each time you come across them. So like this appreciation one says, I appreciate how much I enjoy, and then you write down 5 things that you enjoy. So they change the questions slightly as you're going along. And the idea is that you, it says here, shake it up. Refresh and rediscover yourself through wonder and body-mind adventures. How cool is that? So I'm actually going to drop the link for this book in the comments below. But I was looking at this and I saw it online. I thought, I have to get that book. So it arrived the other day. And so today I'm going to start going through it. Since it is Shake It Up Saturday, I figured it would be a good day to start it. So that's my little surprise for you guys today is Shake It Up. So I will put the link in the description below. And then your question of the day. Tell your story question of the day. Who is the oldest relative you got to meet when you were growing up? So who was your oldest relative? Now I know some people have like 4 or 5 generations that are currently alive, which is amazing. Make sure you get the stories of the older ones before they're no longer with us. But my oldest grandparents I had when I was growing up was my great-grandfather and great-grandmother. So I got to meet my great-grandparents, which I thought was really cool. And they worked on a farm all their years. They had this house. We never met them when they were on the farm, but my dad used to go spend summers with them working on the farm and things. And but I remember going to their house and visiting them, and we basically always met in the kitchen area. And but it was pretty cool. I got to meet my great-grandparents. I thought that was pretty cool. That's very special. And then there's a lot of great aunts and uncles I got to meet as well. And I can't remember who Uncle Ollie is. I'm trying to remember who Uncle Ollie is. I know I met Uncle Ollie, but I can't remember whose brother he was. And I'm not sure if he was a brother of my great-grandfather or if he was a brother of one of my grandparents. So I'm going to have to go back to my tree and have a look at that too. So I got to hang around some, when we go visiting family and stuff, they were all these, as a kid, they were all old people. And but then when I look at it, when I look back at the time when I was growing up and how old my grandparents were at the time, I thought they really weren't that old. So like, yeah, they were younger than I thought they were. The perception of a kid, So I thought that was pretty cool. I got to meet them, and what is it? And, and when you're talking about who the oldest, when you're writing in your journal and you're talking about who the oldest relative was that you've got to meet growing up, tell stories about them. Tell what you remember about them. What do you know about them? And you can put there, like, I heard from one of the other family members that this happened with this person. Or I remember my great-grandparents or my great-uncles and aunts and things telling me this particular story. So, not only just put down that, oh, I got to, my second great-grandparents were still alive when I was a kid, and I got to meet with them. No, I want a little more detail. Put a little more detail. Who were these people? They may have been your great-grandparents, your second great-grandparents, just your grandparents. They may have been those, but who were they as a person? How did they treat you? What were they like? What was it like going and visiting them? How many times did you get, did you get to see them a lot? Did you not get to see them very much? So, things like that, and just talk about them as a person, and talk about the stories that you've heard, and make sure that you say, I have heard this story, because then we know it's third hand, not first hand. Not from a first hand encounter with them. So, keep those stories alive, keep them going. And with that, if you do have a question about researching family trees, please private message me or drop your question in the comments below. And you never know, your question could end up being one of our genealogy questions that we answer live on one of the evening lives. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling day. I now have to go get on my mastermind call for the day, which is definitely going to shake up my Saturday no matter what. Yes, it's always great to go to mastermind, but you never know what topics we're going to cover on the day. So I'm not sure how much ink I need, but I do have my pens, my highlighters, and my post-it notes all here ready to go. Got my notebook ready to go. I'm going to go learn for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, however long, 36 hours, however long we're going to be going with this. But anyway, go out, have a super fantastic sparkling Shake It Up Saturday, and we'll catch you guys back here tonight around 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.